Show me a symbol that you use when you have an answer. Okay. Show me a symbol that you use when you have a strategy that you can explain to go along with your answer. And show me what you do when you have another strategy or a backup plan in case somebody else has your ideas. Okay, so we show our fist for our answer and then fingers for every strategy that we can use, okay? For number talks, let's remember our norms, that we provide an explanation of how you solved your problem, that you defend your answer and justify why you feel it is right. You had all your brains working, all those juices flowing, all the smoke coming out of your ears. You need to protect that answer and defend your thinking as to why you feel your answer is right and why you feel your strategy works. Make sense of your classmates' solutions and answers. So that's where you're going to listen to what they're sharing out. You're going to do some turning and talking to kind of discuss those strategies that you heard and communicate when you don't understand or disagree. That's the time to ask those questions so you can get a better understanding of what they're explaining. And then remember, we respect people's work and we take turns. We ready to go? Alrighty, mathematicians, answers. Look at all our hands up today. Sky.
18.
Okay, we have an answer of 18. Do we have any Me Too's on 18?
I forgot what my number was.
Do we have any, no Me Too's, not me's. So we all have the same answer today?
Yes.
Oh, so great minds think alike, huh? Yes. Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, Sky, you're our first one. Please tell us what you did to get to your answer. Be nice and clear for all of class to hear.
I knew that 5 plus 4 equaled 9. And then I just did a doubles fact for 9 plus 9. And then I knew my doubles fact, and then made 18.
Okay, now you added 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. What did we call that? I didn't hear that part. Because we have our doubles here. What was this called here? You want to help her out?
It's doubles plus 1.
Well, let's look at it here. We have our doubles here. What do we call this statement right up here?
A doubles minus 1.
Okay, this could be doubles minus 1. You're absolutely right. Otherwise known as what?
Basic fact.
Basic fact. And then we can put in there that, yeah, you recognize it as doubles plus 1 or doubles minus 1. Now, turn and talk to your partners. What steps did you see that Sky took to get to your answer? Okay, on the count of 3, voices are down. 1, 2, and 3. I need a volunteer to share out the steps that Sky took to get to her answer today. Savannah?
She did 5 plus 4 equaled 9, and that was a basic fact. Then she did doubles plus 1 or doubles.
That was this here.
And then she put 9 plus 9 equals 18, and that was a doubles fact.
Okay, nicely said. Questions, comments for Sky?
Jackson.
Why did you do the doubles fact?
I just knew all my doubles fact because I learned in first grade.
How is it so efficient for you?
Well, I just knew that 5 plus 4 equaled 9. Then did the rest of my doubles facts, and then I did 9 plus 9 equals 18. Hayden.
I like how you did the doubles fact, but it's much more easier than taking the 4 and the 5 and putting it down there and then 9. And then 9. Wait a second. one.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, one more question or comment for Sky?
Drew. I almost did the same thing that you did.
I did something like her, but I did something else.
Okay, well, we're gonna see what other strategies there are, because we need to remember, just like when we go to Busch Gardens, my path to Busch Gardens might be different than yours, but we all wind up at the same place, right? So, same thing here. You all wind up at the same answer, but how you got there might be different. And we also need to remember, too, that sometimes we hit traffic, there's detours on our way, we have to find another path there. So another way to listen and learn from one another is getting those new strategies so you can get to the same answer a different way. So great minds, great thinking, great questions. I need another volunteer to share out your strategy for getting to the same answer. Allie.
I decomposed the 5 into 4 and 1. And then I added on the 1 onto the 9 to make it 10. Make it 10.
Okay.
And then I added on 4 plus 4. And then that equals 8. And then I did 8 plus 10 equals 18.
Okay. Can you just tell me right here what this strategy
a
is?
double stack.
Okay.
Oh, she forgot?
And what about this one down here? What would you call that?
Make a 10 stack.
Well, we got our make a 10 up here. What would we consider this to be? Because we already have a 10.
Add on 1.
Okay, we're going to add on ones. Okay. Turn and talk to your partners. Explain the steps and procedures. Okay, on the count of 3, our voices are down. 1, 2, and 3. I heard some great conversation going on. I heard those strategies being talked about, and that's what we do when we do those number talks, talking about the steps that she took. So I need a volunteer to share out what steps do we see that Allie took to get to her answer of 18. Annabelle.
She decomposed the 5 into 4 and 1, and she did 9 plus 1 equals 10, let's make a 10, and she did 4 plus 4 equals 8, it's double fact, and 8 plus 10 equals 18, add on 1.
Okay, nicely said. So let's take a look at the steps that she took. I can see that she's seeing those numbers inside here. She's knowing that a basic fact of 4 plus 1, that's inside the 5. Okay, so by her decomposing that, we can see how she can use those numbers, right? Questions or comments for Miss Allie?
Sky.
I like how you did your strategy.
Thank you. Okay, and I like how you did the add-on ones. Thank you. That's so efficient. Because I knew to make a 10 stack, and that's really easy for me.
Is there any other strategies in here that are fairly easy for you to use?
And double stacks are really easy too.
Oh, okay, so double stacks and make a 10 are some easy strategies that we've been using for a while. Any other questions or comments for Allie?
Anna, I like how you made a 10. Annabelle. Why didn't you decompose the 5 instead of the 9?
Good question.
Because it was easier, because I knew that I could make a 10 out of 9 and 1.
Lennox?
I just want to point out that on Sky's you wrote doubles plus 1 or doubles.
Oh, thank you very much for checking that on me. Okay. You know what I see here? I see that she uses that make 10 strategy. Why is this an easy strategy down here? What makes this one efficient?
Because it's easier for me instead of just adding it on.
Okay, what do we know about a 10? when we're taking a 10 and adding any number onto it?
That we
What's
can
that
just
thinking
take
that we
out
have?
the 0 and put that other number and put this one.
Oh, okay. Did you hear what she said?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a volunteer to restate what she said so we can all make sure we heard it, Liliana, nice and clear, honey?
You put there's a 0 inside the 10, so you just put the 8 inside the 0 and then
Yep.
made 18.
Nicely said. When you have a 10 and you're adding on a single digit, it's the digit in the ones column that does the changing, right? So you can know that 0 is going to swap out for that 8, so that 8's going to take the place of that 0 in this number. Okay, nicely said. Thank you very much for sharing your ideas. So we have two very different strategies that we have here, but there are more out there. So I'm looking for a really good strategy that we don't see here and that we don't see here, so something different. Something different. Kingsley.
I did 9 plus 5.
Okay, hold up one. Let me write this one down here. So you did, I'm sorry, what?
9 plus 5
Okay.
equaled 14. I did 4 plus 14 equals 18.
Okay. And what kind of strategy or what did you rely on to do this project here?
Well, I saw that like 2 people already took mine.
So you had to come up with that backup plan, right? Okay, so what kind of strategy do we call that though, when you add 9 and 5 together? Okay, we can add on our ones, right? Anything else we can call this? What else do we know it as?
A basic fact.
Basic fact. Okay, and then what about here? Take a look closely and carefully at that number sentence. What do you see that we could say you did? Is there a doubles fact in there? Do we agree with Kingsley that there's a doubles fact in here? Thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if you disagree. Thumbs to the side if you're not sure. So most of us are agreeing that there's a doubles fact. Where do you see that doubles fact in here?
When you do 14 plus 4, all you have to do is take away the 1 and it's 4 plus 4.
Ah, so if I cover this up, you see a basic fact inside there. So if you know what 4 and 4 is, all you have to do is tack on that 10. Okay, so we see some doubles facts in there, right? And we're also adding on those ones. Does that make sense, Kingsley? Yeah? Okay, so you guys turn and talk to your buddies. We go through the steps that you see that
all basic facts, and it has a double fact inside it. And it was a 14 and he could also put 1 in and out of double fact. And that's 5 because he could come up with 1 4 plus 4.
Okay, on the count of 3, your voices are down. 1, 2, and 3. I need a volunteer to share out the steps that Kingsley took to get to his answer for us, please. Peyton?
He took the 9 and the 5, which equaled 14. I was add on ones. All basic fact. And he took the 14 and the 4, which also equals 4 plus 4 equals a double fact. And he took the 14 plus 4 and it equals 18.
Okay. Questions or comments? Thank you very much. You ready, Kingsley? Got their hands up.
Kingsley, can you move up? Move up so we can actually see you when you answer.
Jackson.
Move up, Kingsley.
Why did you do the doubles fact instead of making a 10 and then doing 14 plus 4 equals 18? Well, if I saw that I could do a bigger number, then I could do a doubles fact with 14.
And I like the fact that he's seeing those larger numbers. He also said that he had to come out earlier. Somebody else had already taken that strategy, so he had to come up with another one as his backup plan. So this was his backup, I think, right? Okay. Some other questions for Kingsley.
How is it so efficient? Darn! Because, I knew that that 14 and 4 would equal 18. So I thought that would be a double.
And I think it's fast, fun, and easy because he knows his basic facts. So that's something that comes very quick to him. So then he's knowing that helps him to get through these. You know what I did notice is that he added his numbers in the order that they're written. Is that okay to do that way?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, is it okay to take them out of order?
Yes.
Because what happens anytime we're going to add numbers?
It equals the same number.
Does it matter the order that those numbers are added in? No. Okay, so that's the luxury of adding numbers together, is that we can rearrange them and use them as we need to, or ways that we know we can use them, right? Okay, any other questions that we have for the strategies that Kingsley used before we go on? Got a couple of hands up, Kingsley.
Why did you do 5 plus 4? Why did you do 9 plus 5 instead of 5 plus 4?
You see a bear that Sky has? So you did 5 plus 4.
So he had to come up with another strategy. That's why I always say you have to have that backup plan, right? Is there any other way that we could have used these numbers that's different from what we
Yes.
see up here?
Yes.
Okay, I see that you have your hand up. What are your thoughts? What else could we have done?
You could you decompose the 9 into 5 and 4.
Okay, let's try that one and see where Michael's going with this one.
Then it was going to be 5 plus 4 equals 10.
5 plus what is equal to 10?
5 plus 5
Oh,
equals
okay.
10. Then 10 plus 4 equals 14. Then another 4 would equal 18.
Okay. So we saw some numbers inside that 9, right? And I like how he saw different doubles, because we had doubles over here, but we have a different double over here. We made a 10 here, and we made a 10 over here differently, didn't we? Do we see the difference between this make a 10 and this make a 10?
Yes.
Okay, so we relied on doubles here, we relied on adding on 1 over here. So again, we can make 10 in different ways as well.
I got a good one.
So let me put that down for him. Because we see some doubles in there, so we want to make sure that we're putting that down. Any other things that we could see how we could decompose? Or how we can use our numbers differently to get to that same answer? Jackson, what are your thoughts?
You could have decomposed the 9 into 5 and 4 to equal 9. Then all you have to do is add 1 more to equal 11. And then add 4 on to make 13. And then add 5 on to make 18.
Okay, so you decomposed your 9. Go back and tell me what you did then.
I decomposed the 9 into 5 and 4.
Okay.
And then I made, it equaled 10. Wait, it equaled 9.
Okay, so we have our 9. We decompose it to 5 and 4. What was your
And then,
next step?
I did 1 plus 9 and it equaled 10. And then I added 8 more on.
Okay, where are you getting your 1 from?
From the 5, because 5 plus 4 plus 1 equals 5.
Okay, so did you decompose this number, or are you decomposing this one now?
The
This
5.
one, 5? Okay, I just want to make sure. So you did 4 plus 1 here. Okay, so now I'm understanding what your thinking is. So can you go back and tell me again?
I decomposed the 5 and the 4 and
Okay.
1. And then I used the 1 from the 4 and 1 and made a 10. And then all I had to do is add on 8 more.
Okay, so you used the,
The 5,
uh-huh.
the 4 and 1 to make a 10.
Okay, so you have this 5
Mhm.
and this 4 or this 4?
That
This
4,
one here?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm seeing that it was easier for you to use the numbers that are smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you added these 2 back
Mhm.
and got 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I used the 10 from the decompose the 5
Okay, so what did you use from here to make that 10?
I used the 1,
Okay.
and then I added 8 more on.
Okay, so where did you get your 8 from? Do we understand where he's getting his 8 from? Okay, so I think we need to know where that came from.
It came from...
Guys, you want to kind of give him some help here? Where do you think he got his 8 from? If we could predict his thinking, where did he get that from?
The 4 on the 4.
Is that where it came from?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. And then you took your 10 and added your 8 to it?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for what we did over here for him?
Did you do 2 decomposing? Because I see the 9 decomposed and the 5 decomposed. And that's a smart strategy.
It is a very smart strategy to decompose those numbers and break them down. But what about those things, what we see that he did here? Allie, what are your thoughts or questions on here?
Why didn't he decompose the 9 into 5 and 4 when he already had a 5 and 4?
Well, let's think about it.
And I had one for Michael because he didn't do Michael.
I know. I was trying to get some different ideas because I wanted to see if we can find other ways that we were kind of launching off of Michael's ideas and seeing what other things we could do. Okay, so I think the question here is if we decompose the 5 and the 4, it looked like we put it back together again. So I think we're wondering why you had that step there. And that's fine that you did it. We were just wondering your thinking.
I did it because it was an easy strategy, I know.
Okay, so it's easy for you to remember 5 and 4 as 9? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I see that we can make our 10.
That's a double stack.
And then we have our doubles fact, and then we add that back on. Okay? Any other questions?
Sky, how is this so efficient for you? Because it was easy. Because I added the 1 on with the 10, and I ate it and made 18. So that was the easy part.
And I see that we like to break those numbers down, and that's telling me you know some of those numbers inside there. But I want you to see this one, okay? And then we're going to talk about that just for a minute, and then we're going to move on, okay? Okay, so we can decompose at 9, because everybody likes to do that. Make those numbers smaller, right?
That's not mine.
So how did decomposing this get me to all here? What did you notice? I'll give you a minute to look at it. Because I think that was some of the ideas that we were getting from here. We have some wonderful ideas with those double facts. Take a look down here. What do you notice?
You did a double fact,
I did doubles facts.
2 double.
and then you did add on some ones.
Okay, so I did my doubles fact, and then I added on some ones.
And
So-
a basic fact.
and basic facts. So all I did was just decompose that one number, and look at what I was able to do. I was able to use what I know, my doubles to make a 10, and my doubles to make that 8, and then just add the 2 answers together. So adding on that 10, we know we're just taking that out of the ones column. So just decomposing one number, look at how you can use what you already know to make that fast, fun, and easy. Okay? Thank you very much, mathematicians. I appreciate all your thinking today. Give yourselves a nice pat on the back.
I got you.
Now, thinking about those strategies that you saw today, the expectation is the next time we meet and you see another number sentence that we're going to try some of those strategies that your partners and buddies shared out today, so we can get more of those things stored up in those minds, so we can always have a backup plan for what we like to use. Okay? All right, carefully rise, go back to your seats.